My name is Quentin Mountain. I am 23 years old, and I want to share my story on how I've been dealing with type 1 diabetes for 15 years.
How was Quentin as a child? How would you describe him?
As a child, Quentin was and still is shy. But once he got to know you, you were his friend for life. He was outgoing, and he loved sports. He loved to play basketball. He was pretty good, as a matter of fact, and because he's left-handed and he had that left-hand dribble. And in school, Quentin, he has cognitive learning disabilities, but he would, with assistance, he would help. I mean, excuse me, with assistance, he was very attentive. He tried his hardest to do good, make good grades in school and things of that nature, and he still continues to struggle with some things. But there are other things that he is really good at. For instance, his recall memory. Oh my gosh, I wish I had his memory as far as recalling things. If I were to ask him something now, back in '97, he could tell me almost to the date, the events, the circumstances, and where we were when a specific thing happened. And as a child, he was happy and very loving. He loved giving hugs.
To the day you were diagnosed, can you tell me about that day and what happened?
Wow. It was really scary, to tell you the truth. I remember it was around noon, I think, when we were living in this. It was a YS that I used to go to in Germany. I thought it was just something my body was like being an ache for a little bit. I thought it was kind of like a headache or something. Like one day my chest is really in pain, and then the next day it'll be gone. But that day, it was very scary. The counselors were rushing towards me to help me get up, and they they walked me to their office, and they laid me on beanbags, and they tried to give me some more food, and I told them I didn't want to eat anything because the pain was getting worse and worse every single minute. And then by the time my mom arrived, my body temperature, it was getting hot, like it was burning. My mouth felt dry. I also remember my nostrils feeling dry as well, and I can't remember the counselors calling my mother, and when she came, and by the time she came, my body did not want to move. It had to, and it was just getting weak. And by the time we arrived to the hospital, my heart was beating too fast, like I was about to die or something, and I had no clue what was going on. And I remember like running all over the place, like this was it for me. Like I don't like my body was about to explode or something. And the next thing I know, I started puking. And then after that, my chest was feeling a lot better. But at the same time, and after that happened, my body was still getting weak.
Well, I was 19 years old and I was a student at Oklahoma State University.
When and where were you diagnosed with diabetes?
When and where? When? January 28th, 1984, and I was living in Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah. I was probably on a basketball court whenever I originally got diagnosed. Just couldn't make it through a game anymore. Parents took to the doctor. It's like January in 1999. Yep.
Okay, so you were
Oklahoma City.
really young when it happened. What age
Yep.
were you?
I was 9.
21 days after my 8th birthday.
I was 29 years old, and I was working in the emergency room as a registered nurse.